All right, guys, welcome to the podcast Life It's Better with a Bow, powered by Protect. We're sitting here with some not very well-known people in the hunting industry. Most of you have probably never heard of them. The Harbertson Bros. Just kidding. If you've heard of Mountain Ops, you've heard of the Harbertson Bros. Would we say that?
Yeah.
How long ago did you launch that?
Casey, when was that launched?
I believe it was July 28th, 2014, if I remember correctly.
So that's a special date for Old Total Archery Challenge and for you guys because that was where you launched the public.
Correct.
How rad is that?
It was. I got to have Casey. Casey's the historian. Like, Casey holds the archives of story, history, dates. As you can tell, he could pull that out of his head. I couldn't do that.
He could have said any date, and I'd been like,
we all probably would believe it, right?
Yeah.
Casey's very convincing, but he's also a factual individual. So he a lot of his life lies within fact and like meaning. So Casey, kind of tell him, like, because we were actually riffing on this last night in San Antonio. Like, we've got a bunch of the guys with us that helped us build Mountain Ops over the years, and we were all just talking about the 10 years it's been since we launched the brand and what that day was. So Jake was actually asking me, how did you guys do it? What was it you were doing that day compared to what we're doing today, and he was asking that. So I'll just kind of turn to Casey.
I remember it clear as day.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. It was a couple of coolers at the bottom of the hill.
It wasn't glorious.
As people exited the event, you're like, hey, would you like some, I don't even remember what drink it was, some hydration.
So it was Yeti and Enduro.
Yep.
Yeti and Enduro. There you go.
What's interesting is, and I don't know how many people know this, but so we launched Mountain Ops as an incubated idea within our marketing company.
Yep.
Yeah.
So our marketing company's name was Zulu 6. We came up with the idea of Mountain Ops in February of 2014, and we launched it at TAC to the public there at Snowbird. And we launched it in 2 coolers. We had a cooler full of Yeti, which was the pre-workout, and a cooler full of Enduro, which was the cardio enhancer.
And they were both orange coolers
from Home
Igloo
Depot.
coolers.
Yeah, they were Igloo.
They were
Igloos.
orange Igloo coolers that we went to, I think it was Alpha Graphics, and got some logos printed on them. There is a picture of it, but we launched them in the Hunters Nation booth.
Yes.
And the reason they were launched in the Hunters Nation booth was because Rich Coles, who owns Hunters Nation, was an employee of ours at Zulu 6, and he was a salesman selling our marketing services. And so it was kind of his idea, truthfully. We'll give credit to Rich. It's like, hey, I've got a booth. Like, I can tell people about this. And so we were hopping people up on pre-workout.
After the workout.
After the workout.
Yeah. People still loved it, though.
Oh, everybody loved it. Yeah.
The thing that was kind of intentional, too, if people back then can remember the first time that we did it, was there were these little tiny cups. Because we were so worried, like Enduro,
like a shot glass.
We're like, if we give them too much, like, are they going to be too hyped up and then they're going to get freaked out, Because if you think about that time 10 years ago, like hunting, outdoor, total archery challenge at large, nutrition and supplementation was just not something that was being really thought about. It was like, Gatorades, energy drinks, like just standard
Pop-Tarts.
stuff. Pop-Tarts.
Well,
Coca-Cola.
Pepsi. It was 5 Hour Energy.
And 5 Hour was
5
really
Hour
big
Energy
then.
was huge then. Everybody was on that 5 Hour Energy train. And so everybody was worried. They took a 5 Hour Energy and they're like, I felt horrible and it tasted horrible. How does this compare to 5 Hour Energy? And that was like our biggest question back then.
Well, we're going to the reason I said it was cool for us is over the years we've had multiple companies launch publicly.
Yeah, through you guys.
Through us, which is what an honor for us. We're super pumped about it that they looked at Total Archery Challenge to say, hey, this would be a good way to do it. But it must have been okay because here we are 10 years later. Everybody's read about Blk Flg in an email or heard us talk about it on our podcast, and this is Blk Flg.
Yeah.
10 years later, launching again at Total Archery Challenge.
Yeah, what I was really grateful for was when, as Casey and I were talking about it, because we've been working on this brand, this idea for like 2.5 years. This has been a lifelong dream of Casey and I's personally. and just ideating it for the last 2 years, which for him and I, truly, every idea that we've come up with and done together, we always usually just do the next day. So taking more time to like be thoughtful about building and being intentional about what we were doing and how we were going to do it. When I remember when Casey called me, this is in January, you two had talked and you had said, hey, we've got this great opportunity. Casey was like, I think it would be so cool to launch again with Sean and pay homage to the partnership, relationship, and friendship that we have and do it again. And I was like, but I know like everything's sold out. I was like, how? Yeah. And he's like, well, Sean's a homie, and he came up with a great idea, and he's got this really cool trailer, and he thinks it'd be cool if we did it together to do a giveaway. And so he came back and was like, he had it all lined out. He's like, this is how we're going to do it. This is what me and Sean talked about. And I just looked at Casey. I said, I'm all in. This is going to be cool to come back to the community that has given so much to us, and a community that we love and adore, and an industry that's special to us that has helped us with our company Mountain Ops and continues to help our company Mountain Ops, which we're so grateful for. And now we are here with a trailer, our guys, some tables, some shirts, some hats, and we're giving away an awesome trailer, which is like what we're calling the base to spike camp giveaway.
Absolutely.
And our partners that have gotten involved on this is tremendous. A lot of the partners are relationships that are here at Total Archery Challenge, have been with Casey and I. And so somebody is going to get 2 of everything from partners like Yeti, Sitka. What's the name of that e-bike company? Because
Ubco.
Yeah, who's your manager of TAC that's just driving that thing around?
Carter.
Carter's just riding.
He's
that
number
thing.
one salesman of Ubco. He rides that thing everywhere.
He does a great job, by the way.
Oh, no, he does a phenomenal job. And the bike's actually increased our efficiency by tenfold because now you just ride the bike where you need to go. None of this walking stuff.
He's also
it's for the birds.
He's also saddled up with a machete on those too.
Oh yeah,
so
we have a machete.
If there's limbs in the way, or we got to take
people
care.
Or zombies.
Yeah, yes. You got zombies that are out here in Texas.
Yetis.
You have to be ready for it. But not just Ubco, because like you said, everybody has a buddy they hunt with. I'm not saying that whoever wins this should give that gear to their friend. I mean, I would, maybe. Well, I don't know.
Old pirate would tell you, take everything, give nothing to anybody else, right?
But the Blk Flg pirate would say,
take
rise
everything.
The tides.
Yeah, take everything, give everything back.
Well, I mean, everything that you don't need.
True. Yeah. Take what's essential. Take what's essential.
So we're talking Sitka gear, backpacks from Stone Glacier. Their sleeping bags.
Peaks is thrown in some trekking poles and
gators,
headlamps.
We've got sheep feet, all in.
Sheep feet and all
Maven
optics.
Digiscoping.
Maven came in for the optics. Hoyt came in with 2 full RX-8 bow setups. We got arrows. It's been fun as everybody's been coming up to registration and they see the trailer and they get registered, and Monica's up there kind of letting them know, hey, everything that you guys are buying from us here at Total Archery Challenge, if you buy everything from Blk Flg, every $5 gets you entered to that. And a lot of people are just coming over, and they're just interested in the trailer.
Yeah, they don't even know about the gear.
They have no idea about all the partners.
Awesome display up, and they're like, oh, the display's cool. But once you tell them, they're like, what?
Yeah, I was talking to a father and son yesterday, and I was telling the father, because he was really interested. He's like, dude, I've got a great truck that can pull that. I said, you know what's cool too is this your only boy? You got multiple? He said, this is my only son. I said, well, cool, because then he gets everything, you get everything, and his eyes just lit up. He's like, you mean all of that? I was like, yeah.
The trailer's awesome, but the gear setup is stupid.
Yeah. I am excited for whoever is going to walk away with this in September.
It'll be a fun giveaway. Rolly White and Genesis, they took good care of us.
Really good care of us.
We need to give a shout out to them for sure.
In fact, such good care that I think the 3 of us are almost considering buying one for ourselves.
Oh, no. I am definitely buying that trailer.
Because we didn't even realize how good this trailer was. I remember when you told me about it, and Casey had kind of shared, my vision for what it was going to look like was one of those really mini ones.
Yeah.
A true 2 bed, really small micro. No, this thing is the Taj Mahal of a simple but luxurious and functional.
Yeah, bathroom,
toy hauler,
toilet, shower,
all the essentials.
Cooktop, like a stovetop, microwave, fridge, freezer. It's got everything. 2 beds. Maybe you could turn it into 1, but 2 beds because, you're hunting with your homie.
Yes.
But anyway, it's all we got to say is it'll be at every Total Archery Challenge.
Yep.
But you don't have to buy here. You can buy online.
Yes.
Now, that's good. It's awesome, guys. You'll see it at the events. If not, go to our website, you'll see it. Go to Blk Flg's website, you'll see it. But let's talk more Blk Flg. I knew nothing about it. I still don't. This is like, who's Blk Flg is the big mystery, right? And nobody knows. Here's what I do know. It's an awesome name. I love the skipping on the vowel thing because pirates can't spell.
Yes.
No.
No, we couldn't because we did the same thing at Mountain Ops.
That's right.
We just, everybody's like, you guys love 6 letters. We're like, we love 6 letters.
Yeah. No,
Just
I think
skipping
that's fantastic. But the logo, I love that logo. It is so cool.
Tell me why you love it. How does it resonate with you?
I don't know. Everyone I think as a child loves pirates or the idea of a pirate. I mean, they're bad guys, but for some reason you just love pirates. And you guys have turned the child love of pirates into something that, I don't feel guilty running around wearing because it's not just the Jolly Roger of my childhood. This is the Jolly Roger of good times.
Right.
So I think the lightning bolts and all that kind of liven it up. But I'm a big icon fan. You've seen our icon. It's very simple. It has some meaning to it. But your logo, I just think, we'll see if I think correctly, but it screams active and fun and thievery. No, just kidding. It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that with the Jolly. Sorry, guys. I'm working, so we're going to be getting a lot of those texts, and I can't turn it off in case something comes down the pipe. But so tell us, who is Blk Flg? Maybe there's, what can you tell us? Who is Blk Flg?
Yeah, I'll speak to the logo to just expand that, and then I want to turn it over to Casey to kind of give some greater depth to how he came up with the name and just some of the history of our brotherhood, and it goes all the way back to when him and I were very, very young. So the really cool thing, when everybody that will listen to this podcast, you get the opportunity, if you haven't already, make sure that you're coming to a Tall Archery Challenge. Make sure you come to Tall Archery Challenge's website. You'll see, like Sean said, everything that we're doing together, and you'll start to see this new icon that's a skull and cross bolts. And the intentionality behind that brand was very intentional. Yes, this guy right here. As Casey and I were kind of thinking through this new brand, this new experience we wanted to build together with our guys, we thought deeply about how it would look, and we knew it was going to be pirate, but we wanted to do something that had never been done before, right? That's how we've always done our lives. It's how we've always done business. And so those cross bolts are intentional because what they mean is energy, right? Mm-hmm. Speed, power, disruption, loudness, which is how we like to do and live and build our lives, both personally and in business. We like to do things big and loud and fun. And
yeah.
I like how you said fun, because that's what we want people to feel when they're around that brand, is that joy and fun that comes from experiencing the Blk Flg brand. And the skull was intentional about, us as creatives. Most of that creative process happens right here in the brain. The eyes are intentional about the foresight, the vision, and looking forward to building a bright future. And if you guys will see our skull, it does not have a jaw.
Yeah, no teeth, because you don't brush.
Because we don't brush our teeth. Pirates didn't back then, right? I mean, you look at Barbossa and some of these guys on the Disney, and they had some gnarly teeth.
They did.
So our goal is to try and get our teeth as close to Barbossa and some of those gnarly pirates as possible, so we look more authentic.
Hey, we digressed.
I
apologize.
The lack of jaw there is intentional about that. Actions will always speak louder than words. And Casey and I have always had that belief ourselves in everything that we've done, because most of what we've accomplished in our lives together has been on the basis of our actions. We can say what we intend to do, but we show that by doing it and not just saying we'll do it. We actually mean everything that we say, and we actually do that. And so Casey can kind of give a little also rundown on like the name itself, and then some of the history of like how this kind of came together.
Yeah, so the name itself, it was interesting back in 2018 of the Mountain Ops days. We started realizing that we were growing so fast, and it was becoming such a beast that we had almost ceased to innovate at that time, because we were literally just trying to keep the train on the tracks at the time.
Right, yeah.
4 years into it, it's growing massively, becoming one of the most well-known, biggest brands here in the outdoor space. And so I sat down with Jordan and I said, look, we need to innovate. Like, we can't just rest on what it is that we've created. We launched Ignite in 2017. Ignite was our became our biggest product at that time, and really took us to another level. And so we just realized, like, man, like, we can't just rest on our laurels, and when what we've got to innovate. And so what we did is Jordan, myself, a content creator and a product developer, actually removed ourselves from the internal just combustion of what was going on in the company. And we kind of referred to them as the British. They
were getting very organized.
They were getting very organized.
Which was essential, and it was important
for the business.
Yeah, you have to do that. You're right.
But creativity comes from chaos. And so we couldn't create chaos inside of this combustion engine that was just pumping and going because we didn't want it to blow up. So we removed the chaos. We took Jordan, myself, and a couple other individuals, and we said, let's go innovate. And so the way that we explained ourselves to the company was, hey, we're Blk Flg. We're the pirates. We're the innovators. We're the ones that's kind of leaving the British, if you will. So Blk Flg was actually a internal division. It wasn't never anything other than just, something that we had talked about.
Absolutely.
For internal clarification.
And funny enough, Casey and I, when we were apart, this is how we're like twins. We're 15 months apart, but we act like twins a lot because as we were apart, I was reading Steve Jobs' autobiography, and Casey was really having this internal struggle with, he's like, we've got to separate this. And so when we came back together, I had just finished reading Steve Jobs' autobiography. He was a huge hero of mine. And in the autobiography, Steve Jobs himself at Apple in the 80s did the same thing that we discussed doing, which was he built his Blk Flg division that focused on building the new Macintosh. And because they had just released Apple II, and so Casey, whenever we get together, Casey's very like functional about like, this is what you do, and I'm always this kind of like passionate, inspirational, like I just got inspired by this thing, and so I shared it with him, and Casey was like, yep, that's what we're doing, and we're gonna have a pirate flag, and we're gonna pull these guys out. And Casey just started, like he always does as an architect. He started architecting what we were gonna do, and literally, I think it was like 2 days later, him and I both left our nice offices at the office, said, hey, put any of the team members in this. We're going to another space.
We got an external space that was about 2 miles away.
Yep.
And we just said, we want to be here and we don't want to be bothered. You guys keep running this beast. We're gonna innovate. So what's cool is we were there for 6 to 9 months innovating in between 2018 and 2019. And what we did in those 6 to 9 months was we built the next 4 years of product for Mountain Ops. Mm-hmm. And so then we went, after those 9 months, we went back into the beast, continued to do what we did, but had now 4 years worth of product, not only supplements, but gear items. That's when you saw the camo, or not the camo, but the merino wools and the bags and some of the really cool stuff that we came up with. So that was like Blk Flg 1.0, if you will.
Yeah.
So in 2020, we had an acquisition and we sold a portion of Mountain Ops. And so I stayed on for a period of time. Jordan left. And then when I no longer needed to be there, Jordan and I got back together.
Yeah.
And Jordan had gone off into the private equity world and had started to learn about private equity, investing, and without going too deep in that, got a great knowledge of the financial sector of that type of industry. And so I had stayed doing the marketing for Mountain Ops. When we got back together, we started looking at some pretty cool deals and looking at some different investment opportunities, and we kept finding the same thing over and over again, which was the same thing that we found at our marketing company pre-Mountain Ops.
Yep.
A problem that we solved in Mountain Ops, and that was there was a lot lack of experience or zero experience when it came to venture capital. So as we're looking at these deals and talking with these venture capital companies about, doing a deal together or whatever it was, as we sat down and really talked with them, like, they would have no experience, no actual experience. They maybe went to
You mean in that particular industry of what company you're buying?
No, what I mean is like no experience
in investment,
in business.
Like
Gotcha.
they had never been an operator.
They had money, but they didn't. Yeah,
God swabbed the decks. They had
no experience.
They'd rarely ever manned a helm before. They didn't know how to They didn't know how to hoist the sails, right?
Didn't know how to make people walk the plank.
They didn't know how to
Yeah.
make. Well,
No,
they actually know how to
really
make people walk the
making
plank a
people
lot.
walk the
Yeah,
plank.
private equity and VC have a
They make product walk-
proficiency.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're proficient at making individuals walk the plank.
And
Yeah.
so that's kind of been traditional. You build a company, VC buys it, and they either screw it up or they take it to really great heights.
Yeah.
Yeti's a great example of that, right? Venture capital came in, bought Yeti, they took them to great heights. But there's also other businesses that they get purchased and then they go the other way.
Yeah.
So what we've found is founders that have really good ideas, really good products, they're at a very vulnerable stage in life because they can either really screw it up, which is what happens 99% of the times, or they can really hit it big. And what sucks is Jordan and I see about 5 to 6 deals a week of different companies, whether it's in the outdoor industry, outside of the outdoor industry, and it really boils down to founders who have really good ideas, but they need a lot of help.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times venture capital or angel investing will come in, like, you see the Sharks, Mark Cuban and those guys are like, hey, I'll give you $100,000 for 25% of your company. And they're like, sweet, I get Mark Cuban. But do they actually get Mark Cuban? No, they get Mark Cuban's team.
Yep.
Okay, who went to, Princeton or Yale or whatever and got really good at spreadsheets, and they'll look at spreadsheets and they don't have any experience on running a business, but they're going to tell a business owner how to run a business based on spreadsheets.
Yeah.
So Jordan and I looked at that and we're like, dude, this is broken. Like, this is why Mountain Ops succeeded and why so many companies didn't, and it was because we had
the experience to run it.
We had the experience. We had ran previous businesses. We had sold previous businesses. We had actually sold 2 businesses before Mountain Ops. And so we're like, we know how to do this. So one side of Blk Flg is what we call our VXC side, and that's our venture experience capital. We're put the X in VXC because we have experience.
We're the X factor.
We're the X factor.
And X marks the spot.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
if you want to find the treasure, you're looking for the X.
If you're a pirate, you're looking for the X.
And if you're shooting, a bow,
put the X in VXC. Remember that song? No.
Is that an actual song?
I can't remember what band sang that song, because that was I think it was a one and done, right? It was a single.
Yeah,
EP.
I don't know. I just know the VXC part of it.
Yeah, I think it was like 50 Shades of Grey is what that band's name was. They were one
Do
of
you
my
know
favorites.
that song, though?
I've never heard that song.
VXC? We put the X
I mean, no, it might be a different 3-letter word, but VXC just seems appropriate.
Family friendly.
Yeah.
The other thing that's meaningful about an X, right, is as an archer, what are you always trying to aim at and hit, right? The X.
The vitals.
The vitals is true when we're talking about foam, which is always home when you're here at Toll Archery Challenge.
That's right.
But
dead or not dead.
Dead or not dead. An arrow in the quiver doesn't deliver, right?
Yeah.
Bend it and send it.
Yeah.
Always a full send, life never half
You guys,
send.
let me tell you something about Jordan.
We can just keep doing quotes.
If you just you say one thing off topic and we
dive. We will
Forever.
dive in.
It is a cliff dive.
Yes.
forever.
No,
This isn't just like a small diversion.
No, we will get off the main highway. We'll take an off
see,
ramp.
we're going again. So
We'll come right back.
let's steer right on back into here.
So anyways.
And we're on the VXC.
So remember
Sorry,
there was
that
this
was
X.
Yeah, that was all me. That was all me. I apologize for that. We're on to the VXC
You need to learn,
because you're
Sean,
the
that
X.
you are the problem, actually. It's not him.
I know
If
I'm
you
the
give him
problem.
the
You're encouraging
opportunity,
me.
I
he
open the
capitalizes.
door and
You
he just
literally, I will
runs
run
through
through
blindly.
it. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Never again.
So if you go to our website, blkflg.com, you'll see the VXC side of our business.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that is so some of our current brands that we have, Mountain Ops sits in there. We started that in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Sheep Feet is another brand.
Which I absolutely love wearing them now.
right?
Oh yeah, custom
Incredible.
orthotics, baby.
Yep.
So Sheep Feet.
Good for the soul.
I'll give you a cool little story there. So Sheep Feet launched in 2020. And they are a 60-year-old company.
Yep.
It was 2 generations before Caleb that was running that. Caleb didn't want to make orthotics for doctors. And so he was like, hey, I'm a hunter. I want to make orthotics for hunters.
Yeah.
And in the first year, he was more successful than his dad had ever been revenue-wise.
You want to know what's interesting? His dad, when I was a young kid, I had to wear orthotics, doctor's orders. I had some issues, and his dad made my orthotics.
Yeah,
when I was a
Bowden
little kid.
Orthotics.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's been because it was his father that started.
And it was his dad that started.
Yeah.
So
It's been
what's-
three generations.
So what's cool is, so Caleb comes to us, gets an introduction to us, and is like, hey, you're the Mountain Ops guys. Like, I just started this business, and it's doing really well, but I have no clue what to do. Like, I basically just started a website, started doing products, and started, doing this, and this, and it's working, and I really want it to be successful, and I don't want to screw this up. Can you come help me with my business? So Jordan and I looked at his business, looked at him as an individual, as a founder and operator of this business, and after a rigorous 6-month process, we're like, dude, let's partner up. We're going to help you. We're going to help you take this thing to the moon. So we've been helping Caleb and Mark since 2021 with their business, and it's been awesome. There's actually some really cool things that we've been working on for the last 2 years. Jordan spearheaded it with Caleb, and then Caleb has been running with it for the last 2 years on the process of how we'll be able to not only get the mapping of your foot and be able to make the insole that is faster and more accurate and more efficient and more durable. And so that's been really cool, is to take their humble process that they've been doing for 60 years and then take the technology side of Blk Flg and be able to innovate it.
Yeah.
And
Caleb's a smart dude.
He is
super smart.
Like, he's young and aggressive and smart.
He also looks like James Leto.
I don't know who that is.
James Leto is the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars, and he's also like a really famous actor in Hollywood. And it's funny because James Leto,
I thought I knew all the famous people.
He's a great guy. He's just kind of out there. But, like, I love when you said that about Caleb, because Caleb is truly, like, he's got such a passion. And this is where Casey and I take some of these founders and operators through this kind of testing period of time where we test them on, like, are they going to be durable to be able to withstand some of the asks that we have or the things that we want to see from them, and how responsive are they, and how much are they willing to risk, what kind of level of sacrifice are they comfortable with, what are they not comfortable with. And I will tell you, Caleb is comfortable with every amount of risk, every amount of sacrifice. What he has sacrificed for him and his wife and for his father to build this is tremendous, and the success that they are seeing heavily weighs upon his shoulders and what he's bore himself. And Casey and I are thankful that he's let us play the small role that we've played in that process to be able to help him and guide him on best practices to mitigate pain. The reality is this, and in entrepreneurship and business building, and everybody listening to this podcast, you've got to understand this right now. There is no way to success without suffering. There is no path towards victory without pain. You have to experience suffering and pain in order to grow and in order to achieve some fraction or level of success. And all three of us sitting here could echo that, I mean, without question, as far as all the pain, suffering that you and Monica have had to do and endure in order to build such the world's most prolific, successful archery experience the world has ever known. Right? Like, when we talk about, and it's funny because as we were talking about it here with some guys, one guy in particular has been here for 11 years, which is, this is the 11th year of the Texas.
11th year here in Texas. Yeah.
And knows you and Monica, and just started riffing on all of what he remembered 11 years, what it looked like ago. Casey even remembers, like, when we were here, he was showing me some of the places of where the old glow and arrow was, and where some of the tents were, and where the setup was. But it's quintessential in any journey of any business that an operator or a founder understands that it's going to take everything, and that you're going to have to give everything to this, but you need to prioritize your life in a meaningful way. And I say that to segue back into another great founder and operator, Nathan Goodworth, who has got another great product on the market called All-In, which is a magnetic digiscoping platform, as well as he just launched a new product called the Nexus system, which is now a magnet attach and detach for your tripod that allows you to
had that
quickly,
at Western Hunt, right?
Yep.
We launched it there.
Yeah.
And took him through a similar experience and journey where, Nathan, again, was a huge fan of Mountain Ops, took the product, knew Casey and I, we met him, we ran him through this process, and to Nathan's credit, we made Nathan wait for a year.
Yeah.
Like, we told him he wanted to launch, what year was it?
So we met Nathan in 2021, and he wanted to launch in February at the Hunt Expo of 22, and we did not let him launch until June of 22. And so when I talk about, 99% of individuals don't succeed, Nathan had almost $100,000 worth of product in a warehouse ready to go. And he hadn't dotted all of his I's and crossed all of his T's on a few legal things and a few brand things and a few things that Jordan and I said, if you launch this, you will
Here's
fail.
what you
You're
will
like
face.
like patents and such.
Yes.
Is what it comes down to.
Patents,
Because if they launch it,
the
somebody
name of the
copies
company,
it, then-
Even the name of his company and everything.
Yes.
And we just
Sounds
sat
right.
down with him and we're like, you're about to screw this up.
Yep.
You have a really good product and a really good potential, but you're about to screw this up.
Yeah.
And what was amazing was he was willing enough to listen to us and to trust us. And he didn't know us.
Yeah.
And so that's where when we work with founders and vet out founders, it's like there's a big trust that's got to be there. And that trust has got to come quickly because there's really hard decisions that need to be made.
Yeah.
And so he waited until June to launch the product when we had everything right and ready to go. And he did more revenue in the launch than he thought he would have done in the first year of sales.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, the product's phenomenal.
The product's phenomenal, but the thing was it was the right timing.
No, you're absolutely right.
And we built everything to be the right moment. It wasn't just let's go to Hunt Expo and launch it. Let's get lost.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, and I'm not just saying this because you're sitting next to me. It is.
It'd be weird if it's the other one you said.
Yeah, if you, I don't
So,
think.
whoa, stop. Just kidding.
If you have the decision to launch your product at like a Hunt Expo or a Northwest Turkey Foundation or an NRA or whatever, or a more intimate event, maybe less people, like Total Archery Challenge, it has a better chance of success here.
Totally.
And the reason it has a better chance of success here is, you're going to have 5,000 people on a weekend here. You'll have 50,000 people at an expo. But you are a part of so much noise in an expo.
It's hard to fight for your voice
with
to get your
everybody
voice out
else that
there.
is launching. You come to a Total Archery Challenge and you launch here to 5,000 people like we've done, and you have a much greater response.
Oh, my heavens.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And you have a better opportunity of truthfully talking to more people. Even though there may be more numbers, it's more of the people that you are launching to, especially if you have an archery or a hunting specific product that you're launching. And so like I said, I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting next to you, but that is where you can really screw things up. And that's one of those things that like we sit down and talk with these founders about. So Mountain Ops all-in sheep feet. These are a couple of the brands that we have that are underneath the VXC side of our Blk Flg brand and company, and we have more that are in incubation right now that are coming directly from Blk Flg. We have more that we're collaborating with founders to launch here in the next. We've got one launching in probably the next 15 to 30 days, and then we have a couple more that are launching hopefully in the next 45 to 60 days. Really trying to hit those right time frames of hitting, not just coming to the market, just to come to the market, doing everything very intentional. So that is that side.
That's what I was going to say. So that's kind of the VXC side, but you guys are also, unless I'm misreading this, because quite honestly, I've asked you a lot of questions, and there's no answers that I was getting. So, and we may or may not get them here. So that's VXC. That's just your investment side, helping people grow, whatever. But you're out here, you're selling some swag, you're pumping the name out there. Obviously, that's got to be, you're pumping it to a big consumer side, not an entrepreneur side or new business side. So what's the gig?
So then on the other side of the business, and this is where my time and experience in venture capital and private equity over the last 4 years showed me a lot of what Casey alluded to, which is this is just who Casey and I are. We just want to do things so different. We just can't, we can't accept within ourselves or even want to, for any reason, conform to a norm, fall in line to a pattern, or get inside some kind of loop that's been established. Like, we're looking deeply at how do we disrupt, create new patterns, how do we set up new loops, how do we go in and completely change something that's been established for a long time. So in private equity and in VC, and with everything that just Casey just stated about VXC, and that X being intentional about what it means and what we intend to do with it on that side of the business, it also impacts the other side of the business, which is the lifestyle side.
Yeah.
We, Casey and I, have never seen, and maybe this podcast got out there, and I will stand corrected if you can show me, and I'm happy to be corrected if needed. Mm-hmm. But we have never seen a private equity company or a venture capital company successfully build their own brand. Okay,
a lifestyle brand,
to their brand, because the intention behind the fund or how they raise capital or who they're invested in or what kind of businesses they invest in is all about like specific segment on like we invest only in these kinds of businesses and we do this, and about what they can usually, I always joke about this, but what they can usually sell is a golf ball, right? Because everybody likes golf in that industry, and so they sell lots of golf balls, Patagonia vests with their brands logoed, and like they just give it away because like nobody cares. And so Casey and I were like, okay, well, I don't think anybody's ever done this before because, again, with the intentionality of the brand, let's actionably do what we believe and say we think we can achieve, which is let's build a lifestyle brand that supports many of the other what we call our fleet of ships or our different investments into captains and crews, while also establishing and creating some really cool product that fits our lifestyle and the lifestyle of those we hope to attract into Blk Flg through what we call enriching the crew.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're like, hey, Jordan, define for me what Blk Flg is, right? Because it sounds like there's a couple unique facets to it, and there's the intricacies of it. And I would say this, as we talked about internally as a team with all of our partners, we came up with a statement that we have now defined as what our mission and goal is moving forward with this project and this special brand is to enrich the crew.
Yeah.
Okay. So who is the crew, Sean? Well, here's the crew. The crew is our partnership internally at the smallest core, our employees and crew that work with us to build this brand and business, our consumers and customers that will become our consumers' customers, who thanks to you in this event, we've already got some of our first, and our relationships and partnerships and individuals that we work with that will ever have an impact or be touched by the brand. We want to enrich them. And how we plan to do that is in the way that Casey described with VXC, by building meaningful product and creating inspirational opportunities to motivate and inspire individuals to raise a Blk Flg in their own life. Because in maritime, the intentionality behind raising a Blk Flg came from pirates, and it goes all the way back to privateering, buccaneers, and obviously in the 17th century when they call it the golden era of piracy. It was happening in Nassau. And a lot of people are familiar with that because the Pirates of the Caribbean that Disney's done has done a great job to cinematically deliver a brilliant story and characters that were familiar with that time. But raising the black meant that you were intending to engage with someone at sea, right? During maritime, if I raised the colors, that meant we were either coming aboard, I'm going to fire a shot across your bow and give you a warning, and you're either going to allow me to come and see what you've got, or we're going to have a conflict. And so those colors would strike fear into the heart of many of the British, the French, and the Spanish empires at that time. They're doing lots of trade on the sea. Mm-hmm. And what was really cool about the pirates then was that during that era in Nassau, they were establishing what they called the Republic of Pirates, which was a free state for all men and women. And so this is actually really cool because I've read a lot of books about this. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of history that plays right into like all the intentionality of what we're doing at Blk Flg. But these pirates, the victors, so what I love that Sean said earlier is like, yeah, the scallywags and the guys, rape and pillaging and all this stuff. Like the cinematic that you see today is not always the truth of what the pirates were, who they were, because the victors, who were the British who disbanded them, are the ones who wrote their narrative.
Right.
Okay? Many of
Which is
them,
always the case. Right?
Many of the pirates couldn't read or write, and so they couldn't write journals, unfortunately. And so those journals were written by others, but there were pirates that did write their journals. And so what I wanted to share is that time when slave trade was going on, they were the first ones to abolish slavery. They would intercept these ships and bring them to Nassau and say, come join the crew, come be part of our society, come be part of this community and join us. And that is actually the point when the British were done with it, because they were fine with the pirates disrupting British and French, vessels. But as soon as they started intercepting the British trade routes of slavery, they're like, we got a problem. And so they fought against empires and the British. And so our whole mantra is we want to take some of the greatest core values, beliefs, and tactics and strategies and things that pirates did in the golden era, apply it today in a more modern way and do it now and build a new modern era of piracy that we want to hopefully become the golden era of piracy in modern times through Blk Flg, which will help to enrich the crew through meaningful ways that we can do that by all these things that we've defined within our core that we want to accomplish by doing things to help individuals at large and build community, because that's one of the things I feel like you more than anybody, I just want to share this with everybody on the podcast, but like Sean has been a dear friend of mine and Casey's for years now, decade. And we go way back. And I think there's no one that is more capable, able, authentic, genuine, and is meaningful and intentional about raising his own Blk Flg and flying his colors, which are red. Every time you come to TAC, you're going to see what we call there's Ferrari red and then there's Total Archery red.
Right.
And but Sean and Monica have done a tremendous job at building a community. And so what I've loved about this event so far is, to your point, people have no clue what Blk Flg is. And that was intentional.
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of people didn't know what pirates were. Right? They just saw these colors flying on a ship, and they're like, is that a skull and swords? Like, and it just, what that brand then did as what we would call one of the most successful brands of human history is, the pirates are disbanded, but I'd argue to say that's one of the most successful brands because people still wear it and fly it today. And I still believe that there's pirates everywhere. We believe that. You believe that with us. And so we hope when people see that brand, they see that mark, that it resonates with them. And we're already seeing that here at Total Archery Challenge, as people literally will be standing far away from the trailer, and they'll go get registered, and they'll walk away, and they'll look up at our trailer, and they'll look at the 5 of us standing there, and then they want to come in. They want to talk. They want to understand, what does this mean? This seems so unconventional, or it doesn't seem to fit in. And again, we're like, that's intentional, and I'm glad that you're saying this because it's validating what we wanted to build, what we're excited to build.
Well, in the flag, I mean, the logo's attractive to say, what's this? But anyway, I think we kind of finished off there. We're going to have to fire up the momentum here again. But you were saying that the brand seems non-endemic to archery, basically.
Yes.
But the logo and what you're doing is attractive enough to ask questions.
Yes.
So when they walk up, they're like, what is this? That's what. So on your lifestyle brand, like what are some of the things we can expect? I mean, obviously you got the T-shirt, the hat thing. A million and one guys do T-shirts and hats, right? We're an event. We sell T-shirts and hats. I would say to a certain degree, Total Archery Challenge is a lifestyle brand.
100%.
Because of what we've been able to create and what being part of Total Archery Challenge means. We had a similar experience. We did things that no one was doing, and we were told by 2 major manufacturers that our idea was never going to work, right? Because you had Bowcast at the Bird, which those guys abandoned. Just wasn't working for them. But I saw an opportunity because I was in the event business, not archery, but event is an event to me. They all have the same foundation. They all have the same needs. And then, you're going to put on some different toppings, if you will. But is there anything else you guys want to throw out there, Blk Flg wise, to the listeners here, but also things we should push here at Total Archery Challenge? Anything else you want to throw out there? Casey's a man of less words. When it comes to the twins, Jordan is the man of many words.
Yes.
Here we go with the rain again, guys.
That's coming good.
So what I would throw out there is get ready.
That's fun.
Get ready.
I like that. I know the crew you have here. Some of them I know. Mm-hmm. There's some new ones over there, but some of them I know, and you guys have a good crew.
We do.
We've got a good crew, and we are looking for more to join the crew, right? The crew.
What if they wanted to join this pirate crew? Is there an opportunity there? Or you're just like, we want more to join, but we'll find you. Probably more like that.
I would say, when we again, as you think of the crew, we've already started to assemble new crew members because seeing people now wearing the brand, joining us, we will be launching in the future. This is something I can say that will not deter from anything else that's coming, but just show you how we intend to take care of our own and take care of the crew. Is we're building out a very good membership model so that people can join the crew and have value rewarded and value added to them for participating in Blk Flg in the many ways that they will have participation opportunities to do so. And so if I was to say anything in closing in short, I would tell you this: time and tide waits for no man. So any opportunity that you have to do the things in your life that are meaningful, that you want to pursue passionately, just as this gentleman here has done, as we have done, and as I hope for each of you, whatever that means to you and what you want to do in life, don't wait for the tide and don't wait for time, because we only got so much of it.
Right.
And you don't know when it's going to come high or low on tide. But as we like to say, rise with the tide. And if you're going to rise on one, rise on ours, and let's ride a high tide. Yep. Let's go. Raise the black, brother.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And you brought up rise the tide. Now, there's a few other sayings in there you guys are slinging on.
One of Casey's favorite.
Yeah.
Never surrender, no quarter. Loves that one.
Murder, rape, and pillage was the other one.
Yes. Burn the ships.
Yeah, burn the ships. So burn the ships is a good one. I'm a fan of. That was the term I used when I decided to cut loose on my job.
Yep.
And you guys, I probably used it with you. It's like, well, I'm going to have to, if I want to see this thing through, I'm going to have to burn the ships.
Yep.
Meaning, I'm there, there's no retreat.
No going back.
You either survive or you don't.
Yep.
Because there's no...
Sink or swim, brother.
Yep. You're
Sink
not
or swim.
swimming back.
Yeah.
You're there, build it out, and make it work and survive. And so I really like that one.
Another one that I like that I want to coin here is we say in this community full send, right?
Oh, yeah,
Bend it
full
and send
send
it. So we say full sail.
I love it.
Full sail, brother.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Go forward. Catch the wind and run.
Yes.
Or ride. Or whatever.
But yeah. something
the
of
wind
that
and
way.
run
Catch
with
the
your boat.
wind and run.
Catch the wind and run in the water.
But don't ever try to catch an arrow. Like, I know there's been videos out there. Don't try to do that here, please. But please remember this. When you guys are coming to a Total Archery Challenge, there is a great opportunity when you're out on course and you're shooting your arrows, and hopefully as you're hitting that home, which is foam, you are able, if you don't, find your arrow or others and make sure you bring it back to home base, because guess what? For a dozen arrows that you bring back to Sean and to Monica here, we've got a tree that's forming out here in the main lobby of this area. You can get entered to win a dozen arrows every day. Is that
every
right?
day. It's called the VCRP, the Victory, as in Victory Arrows, Victory Carbon Replacement Program. I got a P from Protect stuck on my elbow. I'm like, what is that?
Now it's just Rotec. Needs to be Protec.
Yep. All right. So anyway, the VCRP program, Victory Carbon Replacement Program. You pick up a dozen broken arrows, bring them back to base camp, and we'll give you an entry for every dozen into winning a dozen. We do that every day. And it's worked. You can see.
Oh, I mean, definitely working.
I know all your guys are happy with that program.
Yeah, our guys are happy, and I think it's fun. It's engaging with the guys who are out here slinging arrows. It's been awesome. So, and somebody's got to win.
Somebody's going to win.
And if you don't win, you win by picking up garbage.
Yes.
Because in the end, that carbon is...
Keeping these venues clean and respecting the venues that have given all of us archers the opportunity to come out and enjoy them.
Yep, just keep coming back. So, well, congratulations, you guys, on starting yet another exciting brand. Mm-hmm. And the logo, again, I love it. I think you guys are going to absolutely crush it. I know you think the same. So, all right, guys. Anything else?
No, you're the man,
No,
Sean.
sir.
Thanks again for being here, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.